Star Wars 7x7, episode 2793. Well, it's officially 3 months until the Obi-Wan Kenobi series debuts on Disney+, and I thought I'd take a moment to talk about what we've got to expect going forward. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So, as with the Book of Boba Fett, if there are rumors and leaks and spoilers going around about stuff in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, I somehow have mercifully managed to miss all of them. And so I wouldn't be talking about them on here anyway, unless I gave it a big, red flag spoiler warning and said, all right, don't listen before any of this if you don't want it spoiled. But thankfully, I've managed to stay blind to any of that stuff if it's even out there, and we won't talk about it here on the show, even if that's the case. And yes, we've been through all the casting stuff, and there hasn't really been a lot. There were a couple of extra folks announced after that 12-person cast announcement that they had way back when. So now it's just a question of what surprises they have in store for us, whether we're going to see the likes of Mon Mothma or Bail Organa or even Saw Gerrera. And I know there was a thing kicking around about Ian McDiarmid saying, oh yeah, the Emperor could be lurking around. And I don't know whether that is supposed to be a wink wink reveal or something like that, but he's not wrong. I mean, the Emperor is kicking around at this time, so it is entirely possible that we could see him, but there's been no official confirmation of anything like that, and I haven't seen any rumors about it. I've just seen this little interview quote from Ian McDiarmid, so yeah, we'll see. But even if he is, I don't feel like that's going to be really a major part of the action that happens in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It just seems like it would be, a little too much attention for Obi-Wan in terms of trying to find out where he is in the galaxy. And, oh, he's alive? Like, that would be, too much for Palpatine to have that kind of information and not be acting on it through future storytelling. And we don't have anything like that in Star Wars storytelling as far as I know, which is actually one of the other things I wanted to talk with you about, which is that there has been Obi-Wan storytelling happening in the comics, and so we're going to explore, as we get closer to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series debut, what other stories have been told about Obi-Wan's time in the desert. And of course, he also appears in a number of stories in the From a Certain Point of View adaptation of A New Hope, that 40 short story collection book that came out in the anniversary year, the 40th anniversary year. So we'll try and learn a little bit more about what he's been up to. One thing I know for sure is that apparently he and Chrysanthemum have had a scuffle. So yeah, I'm very excited to learn more about that. And that's interesting in and of itself because Chrysanthemum has also worked with Darth Vader in the comics, and Darth Vader is of course appearing in this series, so yeah, it opens up that possibility. But I think the thing that we are all looking forward to next is a trailer, and I don't want to necessarily get your hopes up, but looking at the Book of Boba Fett situation, they released their first trailer on November 1st, and the series debuted on December 29th, so that made it just under 2 months before the series premiere that we actually got a trailer, which means that if we are going to get a trailer for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series in a similar time frame, that it's probably not going to show up until the very end of March. I mean, heck, it could show up on April Fool's Day and everybody would be confused because they'd be hearing, there's an Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, and people would be wondering if they were getting pranked. And I will say there's probably a good chance that we're going to get some sort of Obi-Wan Kenobi special as well. Similar to the Under the Helmet thing that we got for Boba Fett, I imagine that we're going to get something like that for Obi-Wan Kenobi too. And yeah, that's what I've got for you about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming up. And if you think there's going to be more foo-fa around the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and they might do some more interesting things in the lead up to it, I would love to hear what you think. Yes, I know we've got the Brotherhood novel coming and the Obi-Wan Kenobi comic series too, but what else do you think is going to happen? I'd love to hear from you. So drop a comment on YouTube where you see this in video form, or for the blog post at sw7x7.com if you're catching the audio version of this. And And that is going to do it for this episode of the show. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.